Taylor Swift has been a beacon of hope, resilience, and inspiration for millions of fans around the world. Her music has the power to heal wounds, mend broken hearts, and uplift spirits in ways that words often fail to capture. But beyond her chart topping songs, glittering performances, and a whirlwind of fame, Taylor possesses a deep well of compassion. This story highlights a poignant moment in her life, a moment where she became more than just a singer to one of her fans. She became a wish granted, a dream realized, and a lasting memory that would endure beyond the confines of time. Before we start, smash the like and subscribe buttons for more updates. It began with a young girl named Lily, a vivacious spirit of only 12 years, whose world was colored with melodies and lyrics from Taylor Swift's albums. Diagnosed with an aggressive form of leukemia, Lily's life had taken a turn that no child or parent should ever have to face. Her days were filled with hospital visits, endless rounds of chemotherapy, and a routine of pills that made her weary. But amid the chaos of her illness, Lily clung fiercely to Taylor's music. It was her sanctuary, her escape, and the one thing that kept her spirit alive. Lily's favorite song was All Too Well. Despite its heart-wrenching lyrics, the song resonated with her deeply. She would sing along in her small, fragile voice, as if the lyrics were a part of her own story. Her parents often found her curled up in bed with headphones on, eyes closed, her lips moving in perfect sync with Taylor's words. In those moments, Lily wasn't a sick child confined to a hospital room. She was free, dancing through life with a heart full of hope. As her condition worsened, Lily's doctors gently explained to her parents that her time was limited. The news shattered them, but Lily, wise beyond her years, had already sensed it. One evening, as her mother sat beside her bed reading, Lily whispered, "Mom, I have one last wish." Her mother's heart sank, her throat tightening as she asked what it was. "I want to meet Taylor Swift," Lily said, her eyes sparkling despite her frailty. Lily's parents were determined to make her wish come true. They reached out to the Make-A-Wish Foundation, who quickly got to work, contacting Taylor's team. Given her busy schedule, the odds seemed slim. But when Taylor herself heard about Lily, she immediately rearranged her commitments. She knew this was something she couldn't ignore. On a crisp autumn afternoon, Taylor Swift walked into Lily's hospital room, her presence filling the sterile space with warmth and light. Lily's eyes widened in disbelief as Taylor smiled and said, "Hi, Lily. I've been waiting to meet you." For a moment, time seemed to stand still. The room was silent except for the steady hum of the heart monitor. And then Lily broke into the brightest smile her parents had seen in months. Taylor sat beside Lily, holding her hand as they talked about everything, from Lily's favorite songs to her favorite colors, to the way she liked to imagine herself as a fearless warrior battling her illness. They laughed together, and for those precious moments, Lily wasn't a patient. She was simply a little girl, living her dream. Taylor had brought her guitar, and at Lily's request, she began to play All Too Well. The song's hauntingly beautiful chords filled the room, and Lily's voice, though soft and weak, joined Taylor's. Her parents watched with tears streaming down their faces as their daughter sang with every ounce of strength she could muster, her spirit shining brighter than ever. After the song, Taylor handed Lily a handwritten note. "This is for you," she said, her voice thick with emotion. "Whenever you feel like you need a little bit of magic, just read this, and I'll be right there with you." Lily clutched the note as if it were the most precious thing in the world, her fingers tracing the letters as she whispered, "Thank you." Taylor stayed for hours, sharing stories, playing more songs, and even teaching Lily some simple chords on the guitar. She gave Lily a signed Polaroid from their visit telling her, "This is proof that you're one of the coolest people I've ever met." By the time Taylor left, she had not only fulfilled Lily's wish, but had given her a day that transcended her illness. A day filled with love, laughter, and pure, unfiltered joy. Lily passed away peacefully just a few weeks later with Taylor's note clutched tightly in her hand and All Too Well playing softly in the background. At her funeral, her parents shared the story of Taylor's visit, recounting how much it had meant to their daughter. "She gave Lily something that no medicine or treatment could provide," her father said, his voice trembling. "She gave her hope and happiness even in her final days." Taylor herself sent a heartfelt letter to Lily's family, expressing her gratitude for having had the chance to meet their incredible daughter. "Lily's strength, courage, and love will stay with me forever," she wrote. "She reminded me why I do what I do, and I will carry her spirit with me in every song I sing. The story of Taylor Swift and Lily quickly spread, touching hearts worldwide. Fans and strangers alike were moved by the depth of Taylor's kindness and the power of a single act of love. Lily's story became a testament to the profound impact that one person can have on another's life, especially in their darkest moments. Taylor, in the months that followed, often spoke about Lily during her concerts, dedicating performances of All Too Well to her memory. She also made a generous donation to leukemia research in Lily's name, ensuring that her legacy would continue to bring hope to other children and families battling similar hardships. For Taylor, the experience was life-changing. It reminded her that fame and success meant little without using them to bring light into the lives of others. She began to prioritize connecting with her fans on a deeper level, often making time to visit those in need, sending handwritten letters, and finding ways to show her appreciation for the love and support she had received throughout her career. Lily's parents found solace in the memory of their daughter's special day. They often looked at the Polaroid of Lily and Taylor, framed and placed prominently in their living room. It was a reminder of their daughter's bravery and the boundless kindness of a woman who had given them a moment of peace in the midst of unimaginable grief. This story is not merely about a superstar fulfilling a fan's wish. It's a story about the power of human connection, the importance of empathy, and the profound effect of small acts of kindness. Taylor Swift may be known for her music, but in that hospital room she was a lifeline, a beacon of love and hope, and a reminder that even in the face of life's greatest challenges, beauty and light can still be found. In the years that followed, Lily's story continued to inspire people across the globe. It served as a reminder that while life can be fragile and fleeting, the love we give and the joy we bring to others are the legacies that endure. Taylor Swift, through her actions, showed the world that true greatness lies not in accolades or fame, but in the ability to touch hearts and change lives, one person at a time. And so, the memory of that autumn afternoon, of a little girl's dream coming true, remains etched in the hearts of all who hear it. It's a story of love, of music, and of the profound ways in which we can make each other's lives just a little bit brighter, even when the world feels unbearably dark. Lily's wish was fulfilled, but the impact of that day, the laughter, the music, and the love shared, continues to resonate, a beautiful reminder of the extraordinary power of kindness. Lily's story was just one of many that illustrated the extraordinary connection Taylor Swift had with her fans, but the emotional depth of this particular encounter set it apart. What made it so profoundly moving wasn't just the granting of a wish, but the mutual exchange of love, strength, and courage between a global superstar and a young girl facing the ultimate test of human endurance. The beauty of their meeting was the way it transcended the typical dynamic between celebrity and fan. It became something deeply human, something timeless. In the days following Taylor's visit, Lily seemed more at peace than she had been in months. Her mother later described those last days as bittersweet, but filled with an inexplicable sense of calm. "It was like Lily carried a piece of Taylor's spirit with her," she said in an interview. "There was a light in her eyes, even when she was too weak to speak." Taylor's music continued to play softly in the background, offering Lily comfort and companionship as she neared the end of her journey. Each lyric seemed to wrap around her like a warm blanket, soothing her soul in ways words alone could never accomplish. For Taylor, the experience left a profound mark. Though her life was often a whirlwind of sold-out arenas, red carpet appearances, and grueling recording schedules, she found herself reflecting deeply on her time with Lily. She realized that her music wasn't just entertainment. It was a lifeline for many. The realization fueled a quiet yet significant shift in her perspective. She became more intentional about using her platform not just to connect with millions of fans, but to touch individual lives in deeply meaningful ways. This newfound sense of purpose led Taylor to expand her philanthropic efforts. She established a fund specifically dedicated to aiding children battling terminal illnesses, providing not just financial assistance but also unique opportunities for joy and hope. This initiative, named Lily's Light, became a cornerstone of Taylor's charitable endeavors. It wasn't just about donating money. It was about creating experiences that mirrored the transformative day Lily had experienced. Children and their families were offered private concerts, meet and greets, and personalized messages, all designed to bring moments of happiness in the midst of their trials. One such child was Jacob, a 10-year-old boy diagnosed with a rare genetic disorder that severely limited his mobility. When Jacob's family reached out to the foundation, Taylor decided to surprise him in his hometown. She arrived unannounced at a small community center where Jacob and his family had gathered under the pretense of a local event. As she entered the room with her guitar in hand, Jacob's eyes widened in disbelief. His laughter filled the room as Taylor knelt beside him, strumming the chords of Shake It Off. In that moment, Jacob wasn't a boy trapped in a wheelchair. He was a star, shining brightly under Taylor's unwavering gaze. Taylor's efforts didn't stop with children. She also recognized the struggles of parents and caregivers who carried an unimaginable weight on their shoulders. Through Lily's Light, she organized retreats for families, offering them respite from the relentless challenges they faced. These retreats became sanctuaries where parents could share their stories, support one another, and find solace in a community bound by shared experiences. Taylor often attended these retreats herself, sitting with families, listening to their stories, and offering words of encouragement. One family shared how their daughter Emily had been a devoted Swiftie before losing her battle with cancer. Taylor listened intently as Emily's mother described her daughter's love for Lover and how the album had been their soundtrack during long hospital stays. At the end of their conversation, Taylor hugged Emily's mother tightly, whispering, "Your daughter's love will never fade. It's a part of every note I play." That hug became a cherished memory, a reminder that even in the midst of sorrow, human connection could provide a sliver of healing. As the foundation grew, so did the impact of Taylor's personal involvement. She began dedicating specific songs during her concerts to individuals she had met through Lily's Light. These moments became highlights of her shows, as fans cheered not just for Taylor but for the courage and resilience of the individuals whose stories she shared. One unforgettable moment occurred during a concert in Chicago when Taylor paused before performing Enchanted. She spoke about a young girl named Sophie who had recently lost her battle with cystic fibrosis. "This one's for Sophie," Taylor said, her voice breaking slightly. The crowd erupted in a wave of applause and tears, their collective energy creating a powerful tribute to a life gone too soon. The stories of these children and their families became woven into the fabric of Taylor's music. When she began working on her next album, the themes of love, loss, and hope took on new dimensions. One song, titled Lily's Song, was inspired by her encounter with the brave young girl whose wish had ignited a movement. The hauntingly beautiful track spoke of fleeting moments, unbreakable bonds, and the enduring light that shines even in the darkest of times. Upon the album's release, Lily's Song quickly became a fan favorite, with listeners sharing their own interpretations and stories of how the song resonated with them. But perhaps the most remarkable aspect of Taylor's journey was the ripple effect her actions created. Fans around the world were inspired by her example and began initiating acts of kindness within their own communities. Swifties organized charity drives, blood donation campaigns, and volunteer events, all under the banner of Lily's Light. Social media became flooded with stories of people paying it forward, each act of generosity a testament to the profound influence of Taylor's compassion. One particularly touching story came from a teacher in a small town in Ireland who shared how her students had been inspired to raise funds for a local children's hospice after hearing about Lily. They wanted to bring a little light into the lives of kids who might not have much time left, the teacher wrote. The students even wrote a song dedicated to Lily, which they performed at a community event. Their efforts raised enough money to renovate several rooms at the hospice, ensuring that the children staying there could feel as comfortable and loved as possible. Taylor herself was deeply moved by the stories of her fans' kindness. She often took the time to acknowledge their efforts, sending personalized messages or making surprise phone calls to thank them for their contributions. She understood that the true power of her platform lay in its ability to inspire change on a grassroots level. "It's not just about what I can do," she once said in an interview. "It's about what we can do together. Every small act of kindness matters." As the years passed, the legacy of Lily's wish continued to grow. Taylor's foundation expanded its reach, partnering with hospitals, schools, and other organizations to provide a wide range of support for children and families facing serious illnesses. The Foundation's annual gala, aptly named Lily's Night, became a star-studded event that celebrated the resilience of these families while raising millions for critical research and care. During one particularly memorable gala, Taylor took to the stage to share an update on the Foundation's impact. "Every note I sing, every chord I play, carries with it the stories of incredible people like Lily," she said, her voice filled with emotion. "She taught me that even the smallest moment of joy can make the biggest difference. And it's because of her and all of you that we're able to continue spreading light." The audience rose to their feet, applauding not just for Taylor, but for the spirit of a young girl who had shown the world the true meaning of courage and love. In quiet moments away from the spotlight, Taylor often reflected on how one small act, a simple visit to a hospital room, had blossomed into something far greater than she could have ever imagined. It wasn't about fame or recognition. It was about the power of showing up, of being present, and of sharing love without reservation. Lily had given her a gift too. The understanding that life's most profound moments often come not from grand achievements, but from the simple, heartfelt connections we make with others. The Polaroid of Taylor and Lily still holds a special place in her Nashville home, displayed prominently in a room filled with mementos from her journey. It's a daily reminder of a little girl whose bravery and love sparked a movement that continues to touch lives around the globe. And so, Lily's light shines on. Through every song, every story, and every act of kindness inspired by her memory. Taylor Swift, with her unwavering heart and boundless compassion, has proven that true greatness lies not in what we achieve for ourselves, but in how we lift others, one small act of love at a time. The impact of Lily's story extended far beyond her own circle of family, friends, and even Taylor Swift herself. It became a phenomenon, a symbol of how music and human connection can transcend pain, illness, and even the finality of death. Over time, the story evolved from a heartwarming anecdote into a global movement, touching the lives of countless individuals who found hope and solace in its message. But behind the sweeping public impact lay countless personal, intimate tales of transformation, many of which would never make headlines but were no less profound. One such story unfolded in a small village in Japan, where a young girl named Hana battled a rare heart condition. Inspired by Lily's wish, Hana's family reached out to Taylor's Foundation, not with the hope of a visit, but simply to share how Lily's story had encouraged their daughter during her own difficult journey. To their astonishment, Taylor responded with a handwritten letter and a care package filled with items from her tours. The letter, written in Taylor's signature warm and conversational style, encouraged Hannah to hold on to her dreams and assured her that even from far away, she was sending love and strength. Hannah carried the letter everywhere, reading it whenever she felt discouraged, and it became her talisman during long hospital stays. Though Hannah never met Taylor, she felt deeply connected to her, and her family often spoke of how much lighter their burden seemed because of that simple act of kindness. Meanwhile, in South Africa, a schoolteacher named Thandi used Lily's story as the foundation of a classroom project. She asked her students to write essays about what kindness meant to them and how they could bring light to others' lives. The exercise led to a series of small but meaningful acts of compassion within their community. Students visited elderly neighbors, brought food to local shelters, and even organized a fundraiser for a nearby hospital. Thandi shared the results with Taylor's team, who responded with a heartfelt video message thanking the students and encouraging them to continue spreading kindness. For the children, hearing from Taylor herself was a life-changing moment, one that reinforced the idea that their small actions could have a ripple effect far beyond their village. The ripple effect wasn't limited to children. Adults, too, found themselves inspired to act after hearing about Lily and Taylor's bond. A corporate executive in New York City, moved by the story, launched an annual charity initiative within his company. Employees were encouraged to volunteer with organizations supporting children with critical illnesses, and the company pledged to match all donations made during the campaign. Over the years, the initiative raised millions of dollars and brought thousands of employees into direct contact with families in need, creating bonds that transcended professional boundaries. In another part of the world, a renowned pediatric oncologist in Brazil named Dr. Almeida began integrating music therapy into her treatment protocols after learning about the powerful role Taylor's music had played in Lily's life. She invited local musicians to perform for her young patients, hoping to replicate some of the joy and comfort that Lily had experienced. Over time, her program expanded, and it became a model for other hospitals in the region. Families reported seeing significant improvements in their children's emotional well-being, and some children even began participating in the music sessions themselves, creating a sense of community and shared strength within the hospital. Taylor's own life continued to evolve in ways deeply influenced by her experience with Lily. She started dedicating more time to crafting music that reflected the complexities of life, loss, and love, drawing inspiration from the stories she encountered through her foundation. One of her albums, titled Threads of Light, was entirely dedicated to these themes. Each track told a unique story, some joyful, others heart-wrenching, but all connected by the central message that even in our darkest moments, there is always a thread of light to hold on to. Critics hailed the album as her most vulnerable and authentic work yet, and fans found themselves deeply moved by its raw honesty. One song from the album, Whispers in the Rain, became an anthem for those mourning the loss of loved ones. The lyrics, which spoke of quiet conversations with those who had passed, resonated particularly with families who had lost children. During concerts, fans would hold up photos of their loved ones during the song, creating a sea of faces illuminated by cell phone lights. Taylor, often moved to tears by these tributes, would pause to acknowledge the strength and love present in the room. These moments became sacred, shared experiences that reminded everyone of the universality of love and loss. Outside of her music, Taylor found new ways to channel her creativity into projects that aligned with her mission of spreading light and hope. She collaborated with filmmakers to produce a documentary about Lily's story and the wider impact of Lily's light. The documentary, titled A Wish Beyond Time, combined personal interviews, concert footage, and behind-the-scenes glimpses into the Foundation's work. It highlighted the stories of several children and families who had been touched by Taylor's efforts, offering a deeply moving exploration of human resilience and connection. Upon its release, the film was praised for its authenticity and emotional depth, and it quickly became a cultural touchstone. In her personal life, Taylor became more open about the emotional toll of balancing her career with the deeply personal connections she was forming through her foundation. She often spoke candidly about the heartbreak of losing young fans and the ways it challenged her to remain hopeful. Her vulnerability endeared her to fans even more, as they saw not just a superstar, but a deeply empathetic individual navigating the complexities of fame, responsibility, and personal growth. Taylor's commitment to giving back wasn't confined to large-scale efforts. She often went out of her way to make small, deeply personal gestures for her fans. For example, she surprised a young woman in Australia who had lost her sister to cancer by attending her wedding and performing her sister's favorite song during the reception. On another occasion, she quietly paid off the medical bills of a fan who had been struggling with the aftermath of a serious accident. These stories, shared quietly and without fanfare, became part of the lore surrounding Taylor's character, further solidifying her reputation as someone who genuinely cared about her fans beyond their role as an audience. The ripple effect of Lily's story also influenced Taylor's relationships within the music industry. She began collaborating with other artists who shared her passion for philanthropy, creating unique opportunities to amplify their collective impact. Together, they organized benefit concerts, recorded charity singles, and even hosted global telethons to raise funds for causes ranging from medical research to disaster relief. These collaborations not only raised millions of dollars, but also demonstrated the power of unity within an often competitive industry. One particularly memorable event was a benefit concert held at Madison Square Garden, where Taylor shared the stage with several of her musical idols. The concert, titled Harmony of Hope, was a sold-out affair, with all proceeds going to children's hospitals around the world. Taylor's performance of Lily's song, accompanied by a full orchestra, brought the audience to tears, and the night ended with a standing ovation that lasted nearly 10 minutes. It was a moment of triumph, not just for Taylor, but for everyone who had contributed to the cause. Meanwhile, the Lily's Light Foundation continued to grow, expanding its reach to include mental health support for families coping with the emotional toll of terminal illnesses. Recognizing that caregivers often bore the weight of their loved ones' suffering, the foundation introduced counseling services, support groups, and wellness retreats specifically for parents and siblings. These initiatives provided a lifeline for many, offering a space to process their grief and find strength in the shared experiences of others. As Taylor reflected on the journey sparked by her encounter with Lily, she often spoke about the profound lessons she had learned. "Lily taught me that love is the most powerful force we have," she once said during an interview. "It's what connects us, heals us, and gives us the strength to keep going, even when it feels like the world is falling apart." That sentiment became a guiding principle not only for her work, but for the countless people whose lives had been touched by her kindness. From the small village in Japan to the bustling streets of New York, from hospital rooms to concert arenas, the light that Lily and Taylor had ignited continued to shine, illuminating a path of love, resilience, and hope for generations to come. The enduring legacy of Lily's story manifested in ways that were often unexpected, yet profoundly meaningful. For instance, a renowned artist in Italy, deeply moved by the tale of Lily and Taylor's connection, created a series of paintings inspired by the theme of light and resilience. These works, infused with soft, luminous colors and delicate brushstrokes, captured moments of quiet strength and transcendent hope. The artist titled the collection Lily's Glow, and it was exhibited in galleries across Europe. Visitors wrote about how the paintings evoked a sense of peace and healing, and portions of the proceeds were donated to Lily's Light to further its mission. Similarly, in a remote town in Canada, a young boy named Alex, who had lost his brother to leukemia, decided to create a community garden in his sibling's honor. Alex had read about Lily and was inspired to cultivate a space where families dealing with loss could come together and find solace in nature. The garden, aptly named Lily's Haven, became a sanctuary for people seeking moments of reflection and connection. It featured a winding path lined with flowers of every color, benches engraved with uplifting quotes, and a central fountain that shimmered under the sunlight. Visitors often left small notes of remembrance or gratitude, contributing to an ever-growing mosaic of shared humanity. On a broader scale, Lily's story inspired scientific breakthroughs as well. A team of young researchers, driven by the emotional impact of the tale, dedicated themselves to finding innovative treatments for pediatric cancers. Their work was featured in medical journals and conferences, where they spoke about how stories like Lily's had fueled their determination to make a difference. These researchers collaborated with hospitals worldwide, establishing cutting-edge programs that offered experimental therapies to children with limited treatment options. The ripple effects of their efforts saved lives and brought renewed hope to countless families facing unimaginable circumstances. In addition to these creative and scientific endeavors, educators began using Lily's story as a teaching tool. School curriculums in several countries incorporated lessons on empathy and the power of kindness, using Taylor's and Lily's bond as a centerpiece. These lessons encouraged students to think critically about how they could contribute positively to the world around them. Many schools launched their own kindness initiatives, such as peer mentoring programs and anti-bullying campaigns, all with the goal of fostering a culture of compassion and mutual support. Taylor herself continued to honor Lily's legacy in ways both public and private. She quietly visited hospitals, brought personalized gifts to children, and spent hours talking to families who had reached out to her. These moments, often unseen by the public, were deeply fulfilling for Taylor, reminding her of the intimate power of human connection. She also wrote a memoir that chronicled her experiences with Lily's Light, blending personal reflections with stories from families she had met. The book, Threads of Grace, became a bestseller, with proceeds going directly to the foundation. Through these countless acts of love, creativity, and innovation, Lily's light never dimmed. Her story became an enduring reminder that even the shortest lives could leave an indelible mark on the world, transforming sorrow into a legacy of hope, compassion, and endless possibility. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, leave your comments below and tell us, what are your thoughts on Taylor Swift's last wish being fulfilled? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching and see you next time.